African Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. Ètò lóríṣiríṣi, ABN àwa nìyẹn. Ètò lóríṣiríṣi, ABN àwa la lè ṣe o. Kèrèkètè náà wò wá kárí ayé. Àwa la lára a ò gbàràdá o. Àṣà tí ìṣe wa l'Áfíríkà o. Òun làwa ń gbé lárugẹ. Ẹni sọ lẹ́nu kó sápò yàtọ̀. Àjèjì tó ṣokùnà kó sápò ẹbí. ABN tún ti gbáradé o. Ẹ máa wò wá kẹ́ ẹ máa tún wá wò. Àwa la dé bẹ́ẹ̀ tún bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe o. Kẹ́ máa wò wá kẹ́ ẹ máa tún wá wò. Àwa la dé bẹ́ẹ̀ tún bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe o. African Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. ABN, African Broadcasting Network. Àṣà àti ìṣe Yorùbá àti Áfíríkà lápapọ̀ òun làwa ń gbé lárugẹ.
Wonderful, that is your name. Lord, you're too sweet, oh, to me in every way. You gave me life, joy, peace, and hope. Oh, how I love, oh, calling your name. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. I say I no go tire. Baby, sing at the ginger and live bye-bye. Ìgbà títí ayélé ó dáwọ́ ìtìdúró. Nígbà tí ogun lé bàbá mi gbé mi níjà. Ìgbà títí ayélé ó dáwọ́ ìtìdúró. Nígbà tí ogun lé bàbá mi gbé mi níjà. Mo jẹ́rìí rẹ̀ o. 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 Mo jẹ́rìí rẹ̀ o.
Whose report shall I believe?
I have seen Jesus.
Favor, mercy, goodness follow me.
Amen.
Them say nah, can't sit down. For me now moving up.
Amen.
My case is different, more but there's a moving up. I trust you.
You are Lord.
I know you God. Hey, alright, so dependable, reliable.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, do not let God do it, Lord. Stronger, wiser, greater, brighter. More than enough. More than enough. My trust is in you. My hope is in you.
The 21-man palliative committee set up by Governor Gboyega of Osun State has commenced sharing of food and other materials to the vulnerable across the state. Our correspondent, who monitored the distribution in Ilesha West, Ede and Odo to local governments of the state, reports that the palliative, which include rice, garri, noodles, egg and beans, were shared on the first day of distribution to the vulnerable in those three local governments. Coordinators of the palliative monitor the process from the point of loading to various local government area, where they were later subdivided and redistributed to other units before the final distribution to individual vulnerable persons.
Commence formally the distribution of food products, which the committee has been able to source directly from membership donations and also well-wishers of the state, both institutional donation and individual donation, which we have now used in providing food for distribution as a succor for the vulnerable and less privileged members of the society in the state of Osun. That is why we have come here to commence the delivery of these food products. Well, for us as a committee, we have a program of continuity. This is actually the first phase, the first tranche of what we want to distribute. And in terms of monetary value for the food that are going out now, we've spent over 150 million for procuring and the various donations of food in the areas of rice, beans, garri, eggs, and Indomie noodles. And this particular first tranche is to go out to provide food for those that have been identified on our social register throughout the 31 local governments of the state. Another fund will be applied, because as we get the funds, we apply it, and it is the committee that is running the account, is a committee that is buying all these food products. The government has given us free hand to operate, and that is what we are doing. We have come to ensure that the commencement of this program, as per the document that even the World Bank has approved, is being followed. It has involved a lot of planning. And I will tell you that the planning involved all stakeholders. If you look currently at this background, you'll find that a lot of our stakeholders are here with us. Christian leaders, Muslim leaders, focal staff of all the local governments, local government chairmen, civil societies organization, that is CSO, and even the community development associations. They have come to collect the products. Before that, they have been given the list, addresses, telephone numbers, and location of all the vulnerable people that we have identified. They have all been called, and they are awaiting the receipt of this product. At the various local governments, there's another group of stakeholders made up of traditional rulers, elders in the society, Christian association members, Muslim association members, the civil societies organization, representatives of government, that is some of the state executive members, and the focal staff. They will be receiving these products and reconcile with what has been dispatched. From that point, the individuals whose names appear on the register will be called, and they will all sign, because our committee is saying that for anybody who receives this product, we want to be sure that the product got to such a person, and the person signs a receipt of this palliative. So it is very, very transparent, very easy. At the end of it, I want to assure you that it's going to be the model that Nigeria will use. Selected eminent sons and daughters of Osun State from every political divide. I don't want to start mentioning names, but you all have the list. So it's not any political issue. This is for sons and daughters, elderly people, people that are vulnerable and are citizens and residents in the state of Osun.
Thank you very much.
Each of the beneficiaries were made to sign a form after collecting their share in order to prevent irregularities. The secretary of the committee, Ibrahim Jimoh, who monitored the process, told journalists that the committee used updated substantial record of vulnerable people in the state to select beneficiaries. The secretary said that the 150 million naira palliative were procured through donation from members, institutions, and individuals. He added that the committee strategized to be transparent with a view to make the process a model that government can adapt for effective distribution of palliative. Some of the beneficiaries commended the state government for reaching out to them through the committee. The committee plans to give out another phase of palliatives as the coronavirus pandemic lasts.
I want to appreciate the 21 committee set up by the governor of the state. And we want to appreciate them for what they have been able to provide for the less privileged in the state. And from the local government, the 3 local governments that make up the old Dotty, we want to appreciate them. And as a Christian leader from St. Michael Anglican Church Ukwa, we say big thank you to them for doing a very wonderful job. Because people are claiming that there is no food, and I believe that with this little, if they are able to take it, it will still go a long way for them. Thank you very much.
I want to thank our governor, Oyetola, and committee. So we thank and we appreciate. Thank God. Yes, I'm very, very happy. I'm very happy.
I really appreciate our government. We really thank God for today because we expecting more than this. If Nigerian government can provide for us more than this, we really appreciate it.
I know the importance of if feeding me is a good thing, I have energy. Then I will well. If I eat it, I will well. My mind will rest, and I will sleep fine.
Thank you.
Because there is some orderliness. We just discovered that the state where we live, close by, we have all our names there, about a dozen of us, with each name, everyone endorsing his name, or his or her name, for what is supplied. So I think there is an organization, an orderliness in the distribution of the palliatives. Well, I think I have much commendation for the government, because at my age, I'm 82 years plus, I'm always very skeptical about a scenario like this. I didn't want to come round, but when I got here, young men and women attended to us, Papa sit down, and we got the packages with everyone endorsing his or her name against what is supplied to him or her. I'm very much impressed, and I have to appreciate the committee and the government that instituted the committee.
Abntv News, Osun State, Nigeria.
African Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. It's all about Africa. It's all about motherland. Celebrating rich cultural heritage. ABN, we bring the best. It's Africa. Broadcasting Network. Broadcasting Network. African Broadcasting Network. Entertainment, education. African Broadcasting Network. Oh yeah. Information, cultural value. African Broadcasting Network. ABN, celebrating Africa's rich cultural heritage.
A woman residing in Osun State, Halima Abdulaziz, who was allegedly assaulted by some police officers, has called on the Inspector General of Police, IGP Abubakar Adamu, to ensure that the perpetrators are brought to book. The victim made the call at a press briefing in Osogbo following allegation of assault on her by some officers on her way to get medical help for her ailing daughter in Odo-Ori, in Iwo Axis of the state. The woman alleged that the police officers, who were aided by other man-over officers to inflict unlawful physical assault on her, as evidenced by a video that has gone viral on social media, failed to listen to explanations on her reason for coming out during lockdown. She called on appropriate authorities to ensure that justice is served on the perpetrators to serve as deterrent to other officers who are in the habit of meting her unlawful assault on innocent citizens. However, she commended efforts of investigation panel set up by Osun State Commissioner of Police over the incident, but condemned any attempt to sweep the matter under carpet.
I'm still under medical and psychological examination as the damage done to me physically, emotionally, and psychologically are unquantifiable. I only pray I overcome the pains and trauma in no distant time. Let it be on the record that the video only showed a part of the incidents, as I was beaten right from under the house to the road. It's also important to put on record that a number of other manual officers were involved in the beating, as evidenced in the viral video. While it is commendable that Osun State Commissioner of Police did set up an investigation panel to look into the matter and conducted an orderly room trial, which I witnessed and provided oral evidence, where a judgment was supposedly pronounced. They were pronounced dismissed.
We want the government and the institution of the government, which is National Police, to follow this case to the end.
According to the PPRO, Osun State Police Command, Yemisi Opalola, who spoke to our correspondent on phone, she said the disciplinary committee will soon make public its finding on the matter. Moyoluwa Ajewole, Abntv News, Osun State, Nigeria. The Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, has promised to donate 72 motorized modular fumigators to all the 36 states in the Federation to support government in containing spread of coronavirus. The Ooni of Ife gave the promise while speaking with journalists at his palace in Ile-Ife, where locally made fumigators and imported drones procured through his initiative to combat spread of coronavirus were displayed. The foremost monarch said the initiative was born out of the need for functional, innovative technology to effectively disinfect large areas in a short period towards combating the spread of COVID-19. The monarch advised government to be committed to disinfecting areas where food and other relief items are distributed, as he expressed concern over lack of adherence to social distancing rules in some areas. Oba Adeyeye said the exercise, which later took off from Ile-Ife, will be extended to all towns in the state, with a pledge to donate 2 fumigators to each of the 36 states of the Federation to support government's efforts in containing the disease. The foremost traditional ruler added that the locally made machinery will be of immense advantage to the nation in post-COVID-19, especially in the agriculture sector. He urged privileged individuals, organizations, and institutions to come out with initiatives to assist government in combating the virus.
From Ooni of Ife Global Initiative to basically look at a simple technology to convert liquid to fog, because we look at this country of ours, Nigeria, the way and manner fumigation is being done, it has actually become a global mockery. What is being done in the Western world compared to what we are doing. To the glory of God, we came up with the solution of making it very functional, making it to be a modular initiative, And the fumigation is now airborne. You can see yourself that we can easily convert the liquid components into fog so that it can easily become droplets, and the air can actually be fumigated, and it will drop to the land, and it will achieve dual purpose. We were very excited about it because we have looked throughout the corners of this country. We realized that that simple technology, we don't have it. We started thinking the art of war of Second World War, how Volkswagen came about by Germans, how Morris Minor came about by Italians, and eventually, when the war ended, these are products that was actually opened up to the entire world. This COVID-19 pandemic is not all about money now. It's not all about the rich or the poor or the wealthy. If it is about that, you will use money to secure yourself. No, this thing is it's in the air. It's a droplet in the air. It can happen to anybody. So we should all come out. We can see all the very highly influential, very highly placed Nigerians that are on their toes, moving all around through the initiative of COVID that has been set up by the government, running helter-skelter. They have mothered sleep in order to secure and protect the citizens of this country. We should all rise up and do great things in a very positive manner. On this note, I pulled all the youths together, maintained all the rules and regulations, and we started fabricating this. We have now decided to give it for free to all the 36 states of this country. And we will start from the state of Osun, then graduate it to every state that have that attack and this issue of COVID-19. We know that we need to move very fast. It's very important for us to do effective fumigation. We know that it is important too because of hunger. The Kakovic team, they're doing their very best. Individuals are doing every day in this palace. We share food items to the community and to the wider community as a whole. I am a member of the COVID-19 relief team set up by the government of Osun State. Looking beyond it, we need to now be patriotic, and we need to all start to think outside the box. You can see the military of this country manufacturing things, mobile ventilators. Let everybody come up and come out with a lot of initiatives that we all have. To all join forces. This is not the time for all of us to condemn one another. Anything that anybody think you have that will better and support government, we should all come out. And that's the reason why, from House of Oduduwa, I am leading that team. And I will ensure that we take it to every state of this country. We are very delighted that the COVID team, they already have a logistics in place to reach out to the entire 774 local governments of this country. We will piggyback on that strength. We will stretch our hands of fellowship to work with them in terms of our own contribution, how it can reach to all the nooks and crannies of this country. And this fumigation should be a continuous effort. It is not a one-off, that the way it's been done. Anytime we're even sharing food, we're trying to work out for people not to be hungry. People tend to be rushing. We should be fumigating those gatherings from time to time. We know that we are rushing for everybody not to die of hunger. But in the process of not dying of hunger, we need to be careful. It is very important to disinfect every environment that has potential gathering. And that's the reason why we rapidly came up with this initiative. And we are giving it out to every state as our contribution. We will give 2 sets per state. We are working on trying to bring the cost down because it's locally fabricated. We will still work with a lot of engineering companies. Thank God we have Obafemi Awolowo University here and so many universities, how to bring down the costs, because we realize the importance of this technology, of the fumigator we have done, even post-COVID-19. It is very good in farming implements to do spraying and sprinkling of very large expanse of farmland. For Nigerian youths, we can easily use it, we can easily assemble it and use it to even take away a lot of insects and a lot of environmentally polluted things that might affect farmlands. Another good thing of this initiative is it is majorly anti-dust. We know the problem of dust in our environment, especially during dry season. We have come up with a technology of converting liquid to fog. And anywhere that you can spread fog around, it will definitely neutralize dust. Dust is not even very good for our health. It's very hazardous to our health. It's a multifunctional equipment that going forward can empower a lot of youth in this country in terms of environmental upgrade, in terms of environmental finance for our country. On this note, today we have tested it industrially. We're satisfied. We have brought in a lot of technical people on board to check, and we're very satisfied that it is indeed 100% locally fabricated fumigator, a modular fumigator that will be useful to every corner in this country. This is our own contribution, and in our own little way, we will continue to do our best. So I'm imploring all Nigerians, it's all about your wealth this time around. Rich, poor, let us unify, come together, and chase this common enemy of COVID-19 out of our system.
Area fumigated after testing and certifying the equipment include the Onis Palace, Sabo, among others, within Ile-Ife metropolis.
What it actually takes to put this motorized fumigator together was actually looking inwards. As a matter of fact, we are all taken by surprise by the recent ravaging of the coronavirus epidemic around the world, and the need to look inwards actually came upon us all of a sudden, because by now we should be thinking of importing fumigators and a lot of other things from outside the country. But unfortunately, the epidemic is so peculiar that we have been cut away from the rest of the world in some certain stance, and we stand to actually look at what we are able to put together to actually save ourselves in this present moment. So instead of us looking at international donors and international help, we actually put ourselves together as a team of youths within the palace with the encouragement of His Imperial Majesty to actually rise up to the challenge of actually fumigating and combating the epidemic in our own little way. That was why we came about this project of locally fabricating this fumigator. And actually the fumigator is so peculiar in such a way that it has never been used in Nigeria before, because it's actually been motorized. It's a cabin put together with two different pressure units that actually generate fog out of fumigating content, and it's actually used for a wide range of coverage. It covers about 30 to 40 feet radius as it moves at the back of the truck, and it's 100% safe because its operation is limited in such a way of contact with human being, because what you have to do is input your content onto the cabin, the tank on the truck, and you just operate. Then the driver can roll up and start the fumigation of the targeted areas. So in such a way, we have been able to actually industrialize and cut down the earth hazard of people trying to fumigate our environment. And what I'm very happy with, and what is very, very important here, is it's 100% locally fabricated and put together here within the palace. At the initial stage, we started with a longer day because we have to perfect the vibrations, the pressures, and we have to be very peculiar and very meticulous about the calculation of some particular components of the machine. So initially it took us about 5 days, but as time goes by, we cut it down to 2. So as time goes on, if we get some more of people to actually work on this project, we can cut it down to 1 or even 3 or 4 per day. Then what is actually very important now is we are working on several other cabins now. Presently we have 5. Now we're working on another set of 10 that we're working on presently. Yeah, definitely we're looking beyond COVID-19 because as you've said, it's a child of circumstance, but actually the lesson is whatever we need in this whole wild world, or whatever we need to actually survive, is within us. So looking beyond COVID-19, this is actually a kind of motorized equipment which can be used for agricultural irrigation. It can be used for medical purposes. It can be used for several other things. And the mind behind it is actually very important. The notion behind the creation of the machine is actually the most important thing. It's actually born out of necessity. Like the Volkswagen was born out of necessity in the Second World War, and Morris Minor and several other companies. Because now we are looking at our locally manufactured products as part of income generating industry or company for us, and a kind of employment creation platform for us too, because we are engaging youth. We started with like 5 people. Then we're having, at the present moment, we're having about 20 to 30 people working on this project.
As we're all aware, COVID-19 is something that is global, is a global pandemic that is causing a lot of havoc. And through KBSC's inspirational leadership, he has come up with this concept where our locally fabricated fumigator partners with our drone to help fumigate the state. This is the launch of it, and we are happy to partner with the palace in this regards. Now, the drone is such that it covers more distance than the manual fumigating techniques that we see being done. And it covers more ground, and it's also safer because the operator can be at a distance, and hence the chemicals that is used does not affect the person. So, like I said, as a company, we were glad to partner with KBSC on this, and I believe it is something that we're going to take forward, not just with KBSC's initiative, but also with the state. This is part of KBSC's CSR, and we are happy to partner with KBSC in that regards. You've been told, we are technical partners with KBSC, and we're happy to donate time as well and resources on this initiative. So we'll work with each state to schedule the time, but yes, we have resources to deploy to the states, and we are also bringing in more resources to support this initiative.
Abntv News, Osun State, Nigeria.
Discover the uniqueness in the entertainment industry. African Broadcasting Network, ABN, is now the pace setter in the industry. Do you want to advertise your product and services? Count on us. We will do it much more than your expectations. African Broadcasting Network, ABN, will deliver quick and prompt services. Our quality and clarity stands us out when it comes to delivering quality broadcasting. Our staffs are hardworking and versatile in the specific field of office. Our environment is so conducive and we are open to all. We also give advice on how to run your business profitably. African Broadcasting Network is situated at
9894 Eastern Street, Suite 875, Houston, Texas 77036.
Contact phone 281-652-8396 and
832-490-8203.
Website www.abntvnetwork.com. ABN, celebrating Africans' rich cultural heritage.
Osun State University Management Board give palliative to the community where their institutions are located due to the extension of the lockdown for the next 14 days. The institution has 6 campuses across the state which are located in Osogbo, Ikire, Ejigbo, Ipetu-Ijesha, Ifetedo and Okuku. The management has decided to distribute palliatives to the disabled and aged, both male and female, across the town in form of food items such as rice, semo, spaghetti to enable them to survive during the period of the lockdown. In an interview with the Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor Labode Popola said the decision of the management was taken in order to give back to the community, who has hosted them since all these years. He also made it known that the money used for the program was derived from the allowance of all the staffs of the institution, and he applauded them for such decision at this crucial period. He also urged the people to obey the social distance protocol and stay at home because it is for the benefit of everybody in the state.
This is the time to do it. You know, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Now, things are quite tough, not only in Nigeria, globally. As a matter of fact, we should be thankful to God in this country that largely we still have the spirit of being our brother's keeper. So what we are doing now is because we know that there are some people who genuinely will not be able to sustain themselves in times like this. And we have people who are very old and who don't have other people caring for them. They live their lives from hand to mouth on a daily basis. They cannot go out. We have people who are special need people, blind people, dumb people, physically handicapped people. They need help. We have widows who don't have people caring for them. These are the ones we target at this time. No amount is too much and no amount is too little. I mean, if you have the spirit of giving, no matter how little it is to you, you will. We have people who are billionaires who don't care how other people survive. And we have people who are managing to live, yet they care about people around them. You will be surprised, this is not funds directly from the university. It's funds contributed by members of management. Members of management normally have some entitlements. Part of it is fueling allowance, communication allowance. We willingly decided that for April, we will sacrifice that. And this amounts to some neat sums of money. I mean, who are the members of management? The Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, the other principal officers, the registrar, the librarian, the bursar, the provost on our campuses, all the directors in the institutions and deans. So these are people holding responsible positions in the university, and they are entitled to this running cost, running allowance. And they decided to forgo it for the month of April. That yes, let's share out of our little with people who need it more than we do. Right? We have host communities. I have mentioned them. Those communities have their systems of administration, and the communities are headed by KBCs. We have confidence in these KBCs. They know their people. They know those who are vulnerable. And we know that God has given them the capacity to be truthful, to do justice, to anything. So we're taking this to the palace. We are believing that they will identify the truly needy people in their communities. The criteria are very clear. People who are widows, very old people who are in need. Not all old people are in need. My mother died about 2 years ago. She died at 93. She was not in need because she had children who are taking care of her. So you don't give things like this to old people who have children who are taking care of them. There are old people who don't have anybody taking care of them. We wish that the KBCs will identify these. We have old men and women who are infirm. By infirmity means that they cannot do anything on their own and they don't have help coming from anywhere. We are hoping that the KBCs will recognize these ones and give the support to them. We have young people who are disabled, either unable to work, maybe blind, maybe dumb. These are people that we want to be targeted. And it isn't much. We have 100 items, and the items comprise rice, semovita, beans, and gari in one pack. Each community will have 100 packs containing these 4 items. And we are targeting families, not necessarily individuals. So whatever is given has to be shared amongst families. It's not possible for government to feed everybody in this state. It's not possible for Mr. Buhari to feed everybody in Nigeria. But now everybody is blaming it on government. What should happen in a good society? Government will take the lead as it has done, and I believe sincerely they are doing the best they can. Then corporate organizations, okay, civil society group, well-to-do individuals, religious organizations, communities should now follow suit, do their own. You can't put everything on government. I want to give kudos to both the federal and state governments. They have really risen up to it. I know that there are problems downstream. The government will mean well, do the best it can, but you have some individuals there who want to corner and render whatever effort government is giving, render it useless. But the government is trying. Now I want to call on corporate organizations, whether businesses or otherwise, to also do their bit. And I have seen that some organizations are doing it. Some people are donating billions. We believe it will get to the target. We have churches, we have mosques that are doing it. Individuals are doing it. We want them to keep this up. That's the way a good society evolves. It is a collective effort. And I want everybody to see it as such. Yes, Junior Osun is doing its own. I want to believe that other institutions are also doing something similar. We didn't start with this. When the issue of COVID-19 first emerged, we did an awareness campaign. We brought in people from different communities in the state to know exactly what to expect from this pandemic. Next to that, we did additional enlightenment campaign. We did flyers in 5 major languages: English, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, and Pidgin language. Okay. Then we also did jingles that are on some radio stations just to create awareness, because this pandemic can be tamed if we go by the precautions. In those jingles, in those flyers, stay at home. That is my plea. People should stay at home. 14 days are not too long. Yeah, it's whoever stays and survives it that will tell the story.
Yeah. Yes. Then the online forecast model too.
So every day we try to do a forecast of what to expect based on the attitude of people, based on what happened the previous night, and based on some other indicators. And those forecasts have actually hitting the goals hard. So yes, that's another contribution that we're doing. We want to plead with them. You know, money has become a problem in this world. Everything is monetized. We won't be surprised if some people will decide to sell this off. We want to plead with them. They should not sell. They should feed on this. It is meant for their well-being. they can give to others who are also in need, that are not found. But they should not sell it. And they should also be kind to other people in their own little way.
The Ataja of Osogbo, His Royal Majesty Obajimola Nipekulawoye, appreciate the management of the institution for their kind gestures towards the people.
We're grateful to them because at this time of our going in the state, especially part of Nigeria, many of our people who are locked in and not locked down will not afford eating before, to talk of a period when those who are helping them could not go to work. So if this type of help come now, we have to be grateful to the source. So I appreciate them and I pray that they succeed in their undertakings. Thank Union Osun management for the effort made so far, and I pray that they will not relent effort. At the same time, I will have to encourage other philanthropists who have been doing it that they should not get tired. Let them take out of the blessings given to them by God to help us during this trying period, so that God will continue to bless them further. As a traditional ruler, we have been trying, I have been trying my whole possible best at this end, and some others have been doing it, but the little we have could not go around our subjects. So I want the government to assist us further, so that people will not be down for them. I don't know of another place but in Osogbo here. If you see them and you have those who are moving about, I will pass from the government. So I don't think anybody is moving about this time around in Osogbo. They are complying strictly, unless in darkness. Because I usually hear some movement late in the hours. So I would like government to assist us on this as well. And they should check the crossing border overnight by intruders and people who think they could bring problem to us here. A message came to me yesterday that 3 people from Monisha had just newly arrived. I had to send a message to the governor when I called, and probably could not pick it that time. I generalized it that they should encourage our security agents to be more hardworking at our borders, the land borders, so that these people will not be crossing down here for safety and bringing problem to us. So government should take care of this.
Abntv News, Osogbo, Osun State, Nigeria.